Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to the Reality Wagon Variety Hour podcast. I think that's the name that we've kind of settled on.
I believe so.
I don't really even know at this point. But we're back. Again, thank you so much for tuning in past weeks. These have been super fun to record. We've got some new guests on the couch. Friends of mine, hockey teammates of mine. Some people that are, well, I mean, we'll get into the draft topic in just a minute. Animal enthusiasts. I know the one on the end is for sure. Yeah. You want to participate?
7-time nature camp attendee, longtime animal enthusiast, recent rock and tree enthusiast. I'm Rosie, and I'm ready to explain to everyone here what a zoo is because I'm not quite sure any of you really know.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case.
Probably the most credentialed and experienced person we've ever had on a topic at all.
When was the last year I went to bird camp? It was probably like the 5th grade, but those 7 years count for something,
He's
right?
been to bird camp.
He's been to, which is more than any of us.
Yeah,
could
I've
say.
never been to an animal camp at all.
That's infinitely more than any of us.
Again, you guys are missing out. You'd rather be the first than the last.
Directly to my right, Kenneth. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kenny. I'm Anthony's friend. We just play hockey together. I guess that's about it.
That's kind of it. Yeah, that's the only thing that keeps us friends. It's
Yeah.
the only thing we have in common. But yeah, so this week's draft, I think we just kind of just get right into it. We're doing zoo animals. That's right, zoo animals. The context of this draft, we are going to be. I'm not even like, and I think we had a little bit of deliberation on this before we even started. I'm not a huge zoo person in general. I don't love the concept of zoos. I can't remember the last time I've actually even been to one, but this zoo is sort of a dream fantasy zoo in that all these animals are perfectly happy. They really like being there. They love entertaining. They're always smiling. They're very happy. But you can kind of do whatever you want. So you could have like snow, ice climate animals with like Saharan animals, and like it doesn't even matter. Then they could be right next to each other, like high-fiving.
It's like Madagascar, the movie.
Exactly.
Everything works out in the end.
Exactly. It doesn't even matter. They're all super happy. So that's sort of the idea. You can put whatever you want.
Singing Kumbaya, man.
Exactly. You can put whatever you want in your zoo, and none of these animals are going to be harmed in any way, shape, or form.
No.
So, with that in mind, I think there were some interesting strategies with going into this. I'm actually really interested to see how this kind of goes with everybody.
I am too. I don't know how, if we're all going to have matching ones, or all going to like double up. Because it's just so hard. There's so many animals.
Yeah. This will be interesting, though. We all have playing cards. I think we'll just flip on the count of 3. This will just determine the way in which we're going to decide our draft order. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, cool. All right.
All right.
All right,
the
cool.
one time I got
what did everybody
king.
get?
King.
7.
All right, you got a king, joker, 7. Okay, cool. I got a joker. So I get to just determine the draft order.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but
Fair.
I feel like you're just making up the rules.
I am not.
Actually, I think he is,
that is
honestly. I had the king.
previously determined,
And that's not just because it's my first day here.
I'm gonna go
ankling.
with pick number 2. I'm gonna put Andrew at pick number 1. I'll put Rosie at pick number 3. I'll put Kenny at pick number 4.
Oh, man.
Okay. And how many rounds of this are we doing?
I think we can do
many
5.
5?
I think there's
agree.
enough animals that we can.
It's a
probably
big
make this
kingdom.
5. It's a mighty big kingdom.
It very much is.
Cool. So someone else take. I'm just gonna write this off, and
All
then who did I say was first? You're first.
Me.
So
Yeah.
go ahead, take it away.
So I'm first. Oh man, this puts so much pressure. 'Cause I was really hoping for one of those last double up picks. I think I have to go with an animal that I really appreciate seeing, and every time just gives me a laugh every time. So I'm gonna have to go with pink flamingos.
Oh, flamingos.
It's
Bold.
It's so bold. But you said they're all happy, and like every time I see them and they're on one leg, I'm like, that other leg just isn't doing any work. They're pink, which is great.
Their heads move 90 degrees at a time.
Their heads move 9. It wasn't even in my thought process,
I
but
don't think that's an
bonus.
actual fact, but if you ever see the way they move, look at the way they move. If you see a line of flamingos, it's back, forth, backwards, all the way around.
Are very tough to keep at a zoo because
Are
if
they?
they hurt their legs, they have to be put down. Horrible fact.
They're like racing horses. I didn't realize I could be watching them at the Derby. Like,
They're
what is
also,
this?
Was it they're only pink because of what they eat? right? I think they're
I don't think you get disqualified for giving them steroids, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
they're only pink because they eat like krill or something like that. But interesting, very interesting first pick.
What would they be otherwise? White?
I think they're like naturally whitish.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Bold first pick. I like it
Thank
though.
you. Very colorful start.
I like it though. I think I have to. All right, so I got the second pick. God, I don't even know. I kind of expected one of them to be gone. I'm probably just gonna go tiger. I think you have to go tiger in this one.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Is it the worst?
No, it's the worst because I wanted that.
I think
That was my number one.
Yeah, I think it's kind of got to be your number one.
Yeah. Do you have a good reason for it though? Other
Just
than
a
it's
really
a great
cool
animal.
Also, in the fact that like I don't know if I've ever really seen a tiger at a zoo, and if I have, it's certainly not a happy one.
Mm-mm.
The idea of seeing a tiger in like a natural habitat type thing, while also being like maybe like the centerpiece, like whatever all-star of my zoo. I think it's a good foundation to sort of build my starting five around.
I mean,
I think
they're very solitary creatures, so you could go anywhere with this. They don't need other animals around.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Solid.
You want to talk about a franchise cornerstone for the zoo? I'm going to give you the chillest, cutest, best like intro doorman first impression to the zoo you can possibly provide to your visitors or yourself. Universally loved, low maintenance, sleep most of the day, koala bear.
Okay. All right. So he did take
Good
one of
pick.
mine. Never mind.
Good pick.
I love koalas.
If you want to
Did you
set
think in
the
a pick
tone,
of like 20 in 20 that no one was going to pick any of your animals.
Well, the thing is, some of mine are pretty unique, but I thought koala, like, not many people.
so
not
this
many
is
zoos
why I
have
picked
them.
koala. I went to the San Diego Zoo about 2 years ago, which for those of you that haven't been or don't know, is the best zoo in the United States, one of the best zoos in the world, probably.
Very good zoo.
And the koala bear section, long story short, went there with a group of friends with not enough time to see the biggest zoo in the United States. But me and one other made the time by sprinting from one exhibit to the next and crossing them off on the map. I wore flip-flops that day, which is a terrible mistake. I had blisters for about a month. But the koala was at the end, so we're basically dripping sweat after sprinting through the San Diego Zoo so we could see every single exhibit. And it was a great finale. And if I went to the zoo with enough time to see everything, I would have sat there for like 3 hours. And we were there when the koala was awake. And they're rarely awake. Sometimes people show up and they're sleeping. But it was a great way to leave. They have heaters near the exhibit, so if you're chilly, you can even go up and like catch a draft. So, it's a good intro.
I do have one question about the koala bear.
Okay.
Don't most of them have syphilis?
Wait, I thought it was chlamydia.
It's either way.
Horrible.
I don't want that type of.
I'm not letting anyone that's getting anywhere near a koala bear in that sense into my zoo to begin with. So,
Where?
Into that.
All right.
sense.
All right.
if
Fair
the koala
enough.
bears want to give themselves syphilis, that sounds like what happens in nature to begin with.
Are you concerned with them infecting any of your other 4 animals? If they're all living in harmony.
No, because they're sleeping most of the time.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
That sounds high maintenance.
They're super lazy. They could only give syphilis to each other.
okay.
All right.
That's
Fair.
fair.
I'm
Fair
almost
enough.
positive chlamydia. But all right.
That
fault.
too. I mean, it could be any of the above. They don't have the energy to give it to anything else.
Fair enough.
All right. Fair enough.
Cool. Kenny,
I guess
you have
my
the
pick.
4th pick, and then you have the 5th pick on the wraparound.
So I'm going to start my team off with the orca or killer whale. Some of the smartest animals in the
It's
world.
a great pick.
They are an apex predator.
Really good.
They're
pick.
really cute. They're very dangerous.
Extremely dangerous.
I have a pretty cool fun fact about the orca. So in Alaska, moose like to swim in the ocean, and they actually dive down to get their food. And the killer whale will eat those moose.
Oh,
So
that's a good eats.
Yeah.
That's a
Have
good
you
eat.
seen Secret Life of Whales yet?
no.
Very strongly recommended watch. There's an
Killer whales.
episode on orcas, and orcas have incredible genetic diversity depending on which part of the world they're in. It's crazy. Different hunting strategies, and like some people say that they're so smart that that's why they don't mess with humans and attack humans, because they're like, yeah, if I do that, then you're going to kill me and all my
Yeah.
family because they're so smart, they're emotional.
They can also kill sharks. Like they've
Yeah.
found out a way if they flip them on their back, I believe it is, and hold them there, they'll eventually just die.
They're kind of like sea wolves in that they usually move in like a pack. I don't know what it's called.
They're like sea humans.
Yeah, sea humans. So that's my first pick.
That's a
Killer
good pick.
whales.
That's a really good pick.
I'm gonna take another pretty popular animal, I think, the bald eagle, as my second pick.
Another strong pick.
Absolutely beautiful creature, one of the top symbols of America. I think it people just really attracted to these animals. Their talons are the size of a human hand.
What? Really?
A bald eagle's talons are the size of your hand.
That's giant.
Yeah, gigantic. So
It's
huge
the same
birds.
foot that raptors used to have when dinosaurs were around.
Yeah. They 90% of them they say mate for life, which is a very interesting fact. I don't think a lot of animals do that. So
I like it. I like it.
So, I know that this was, for those that aren't aware, an attempted attack on me by taking the bald eagle on the wraparound pick, but the reason the bald eagle is not even on my queue list is because luckily now, thanks to the incredible preservation efforts of the United States, I can see bald eagles in my hometown because it was either in the 70s or 80s. They planted a couple nesting pairs in the Quabbin Reservoir in Massachusetts, and they've since expanded into Cape Cod and parts of the South Shore and North Shore. So I wrote a paper on that in freshman writing, which was a class I didn't go to very often. But I like birds, so I could write a paper. They're like, no, I don't know how your writing structure works, but I can tell you some bird facts. And alas. And now I got the next pick, right?
You sure do.
So we went cute, cuddly, low maintenance first. I'm going to hit the other end of the spectrum here. Hippopotamus.
That's a
That's a
really
good one.
strong pick.
The hippopotamus, I think, really just adds the flavor that I need with the koala, and I think that that's going to be the finale of the zoo. So you're really going through a spectrum of nature where it's approachable to the point where you may want to avoid it, but appreciate from a distance, because I think that's important for people to learn.
So I think the interesting thing about a hippo, especially, is because like it's so fucking dangerous. In that, like, now you could put it in like a habitat, and like I don't even know if I've ever seen it. Actually, I think I've seen a hippo in a zoo. Do they have hippos at zoos usually?
I don't know.
Almost
they
positive
have
I
one
saw
near
them in San
Dallas.
Diego.
Yeah, well, San Diego's a different animal. San Diego Zoo is insane.
I may have seen
only-
every animal on my list
Well,
at the
they
San
have
Diego Zoo.
they have a panda at the San Diego Zoo, and like I don't think they have a panda at any other zoo in the United States.
They're very hard to get, and keep alive and happy. Also.
Yeah,
So.
they're kind of temperamental.
Well, that's because San Diego is the most temperate climate. Like it's 72 degrees, clear, and like not really humid.
Yeah.
Like every day of the year.
What do they eat?
It's-
Because they have those gigantic
Hippos.
teeth, but they don't eat meat.
Hippos?
Yeah.
Hippos eat everything.
Do they?
Wait, they
Hippos eat
meat?
everything. They're aquatic, so they're
kill
omnivorous.
Everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Kill
They're,
everything,
they're,
but I don't think
they're
they eat it.
omnivorous, but
Just
so
for fun.
during the dry season, during the wet season, when there's undergrowth coming up in those like pools that they live in, they're aquatic like moose. Moose eat aquatic plants. So they go down and eat aquatic plants. But during the dry season, when they're all tucked into like really tight quarters and there's no plants growing, how else do they survive? And I couldn't tell you what it is they eat, but I know that where they live, plants are only growing aquatically most of the year, and they have to survive without it. And they have
Colombia is
sharp ass
ripe
teeth.
with
I don't
them,
think they have
by
those
the way.
sharp ass teeth for plants.
Colombia is ripe with them because Pablo Escobar imported so many of them. They're actually like now native. I mean, I guess invasively native now to Colombia.
Isn't that the same deal with snakes? Aren't snakes in like Florida?
They're
like,
paying
yes.
you money to go to the
but they-
Everglades.
that like snakes
kill-
didn't exist in Florida.
No,
until people
that's
started
no.
bringing snakes
They
to
did.
So
Florida.
they're
Or is that urban
pythons.
legend?
So
Yeah.
it's they're I believe it's a reticulated python, which if it is that snake, it's native to India, and it's also an invasive species in South America too. But they're paying people if that's the right snake. It's a python though. It's like a 30-foot python, whatever the species is. They're paying people to go to Florida and kill them because they're wiping out the natural ecosystem.
Oh, it's
and
like
that's where
boars.
like that is
Yeah.
where animal cruelty should be okay, because if something that shouldn't be there is the apex predator, everything that should be there is going to die.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And human intervention probably put it there to begin with.
Yeah,
So
in that
did.
case, it did.
fix your own shit.
All right.
Hippo is a very strong pick. I had it ranked as I thought I was really going to be able to take that as like a value pick in probably the 3rd or 4th round, and now I'm not going to be able to get it. So it's kind of shaping up my strategy moving forward.
Now I can
But
really have fun with you guys.
listen. I think
I
now
set the
A
bookmarks.
lot of good picks so far.
so far so good. I will say there's really some really A1 first round draft picks still on the board. I'm going to take one right now and just go lion and just go big cats in my zoo.
You're going 2 cats?
Oh,
I'm
Two
going to go
cats.
2 big cats, and I don't think you're going to see another cat out of me for the rest of the
Tony
you-
Exotic.
You could
You
have.
might not see
you
another.
could be
You might not see another
Joe
mammal
Exotic.
out of me. You might not see another mammal out of
It's
me.
Tony Exotic.
Tony Exotic.
Tony
Tony
Exotic. You
Exotic.
might not see another mammal out of me for the rest of the entire draft. But,
Amphibians.
but
Look out,
here's the
boys.
thing: it's just amphibians.
So you're just a slight frost away from closing down for good.
Well, I am in. We are. This is a permanent. We are in a dream zoo, perfect environments where there are no weather. That's right.
That's
Are no
fair.
weather.
There's no weather
There's
or,
no weather
are no
at this
weather.
zoo.
or ideal weather for every.
Ideal weather for everyone all the time. So yeah, lion, 2nd round pick, value, absolute value.
I would
How
go
is that
tiger
not-
over lion, but you picked them
did
both.
too.
You picked them both.
I did
would've
go.
gone
I did go
panther.
tiger over
Yeah.
lion. If I didn't get lion, it would have been whatever. I thought in the next 4 picks after it, there would have been a single lion taken. Honestly, you guys got some really good picks in there. I'm just saying. I think there might have been some oversight.
You're really talking up your team just by having 2 cats.
Yeah,
I
2
have
cats.
I have the king of the
I have
jungle.
2 cats in my
and
house.
The king of the Sahara. I have both.
Yeah, but you're going from 1 cat to a next in your
I'm not
ideal
putting
zoo?
them right next to each other.
If you throw a couple fur balls, then you don't have a lot of
I'm
entertainment.
not putting
to be
them.
had
I'm
there.
not putting them right next to each other.
Hair-
People go to the
Yarn
zoo
balls.
to see both of these animals.
They do.
Eh,
Like these are. I have 2 cornerstone animals.
okay.
Like
Fair.
top 2 picks. I've got bird and magic in my zoo. Without
That's
a
like
bird in
opening
my
up a
zoo.
restaurant and saying I'm going to start. My first tray is going to be deep dish, and then my second tray is going to be New York style.
So
They're
I have
both,
two-
they're
places
both
exist.
pizzas. It's
so I
just
have
2 different types
really
of pizzas.
good types of pizza in my pizzeria.
You got
Yeah.
one flavor, man.
In my food pizzeria, I
Well,
have
listen,
2 really
we'll
good
find out if the
types.
justification holds up at the end of your zoo.
Listen,
Yeah.
my zoo is going to be really fleshed out.
We
I got
might
another
run
pick
out
in
of all
2.
the other animals.
What do you say?
We might run out of animals. You
I don't
might
think
need
that's
to take cats.
Listen, I'm gonna take all the cats.
Yeah.
No one's gonna have any mammals by the time I'm done. Andrew, you have the 2nd pick or the 8th pick and then the 9th pick as well.
Yep. So for my 8th, I'm gonna go with one that's I don't think I've ever seen in a real life zoo, but I know they exist in zoos. And ideally, a happy zoo would be polar bears.
That's a good pick.
Good pick.
I knew
Strong
I had
pick.
to have a bear because I love them, but polar bears are just like the shit. I love them, and also I didn't know this until like I was looking at facts. Their skin is actually they're not white, like their fur is white, but their skin's black.
Yeah, they're
Interesting.
Have
That
you
is
seen
really
them
cool.
without any fur on them?
Yeah, not
They
good.
Horrifying.
Not good.
They look gross. They look
Yeah,
real gross.
I just think like I've always loved the idea of polar bears just like roaming around, not roaming around here, but like up there in Alaska and stuff, or
Yeah.
North Canada or Antarctica, like wherever the fuck, Arctic Ocean. Sorry, not Antarctic. I don't know, just like cool fucking things.
Yeah, just
and super
roaming around
healthy.
your
And I
zoo.
love the saying where it's like brown bear, you like make yourself big, black bear get down, and then like Arctic bear, like just pray for your fucking life. Like I love, like it's a real
Well,
saying, right?
So it's with black bears. Black bears are very timid normally, unless you find with cubs. If you find any bear with cubs,
if you see
you're
any cubs,
fucked.
you're fucked. Yeah.
But if you see a black bear by itself and you just kind of like wave your arms and scream or like charge and like you make yourself look big, so they don't have great eyesight. So if you wave, they kind of get the idea that you're. a
Oh,
lot
brown
bigger.
bears lay down.
Yeah, brown bear play dead
Okay, yeah.
because
and then
yeah,
polar bear just
polar bears.
they're gonna
curtains.
kill you
Call,
you're
call
the,
your mother.
You're the only food they see for possibly days. So yeah. So
And-
Also,
Interesting
the
thing
largest
about-
bear.
Interesting thing
Yes,
about polar
correct.
bears, the California grizzly bear species, which is actually extinct now. Any grizzly bears that exist there are like the other
Gone.
grizzly bear family. But the California grizzly bear, which was like killed off by like the ranchers and gold miners, whatever, was apparently a closer descendant to polar bears than it was to actual grizzlies. And it just evolved
Scary
to
as
look like
fuck.
it evolved to look like grizzlies, but it was more of a polar bear in California.
that's pretty frightening. No wonder they're on their state flag.
Yeah.
All right. So that is my 8th. My 9th pick, my first pick of the 3rd round, will have to be silverback gorillas.
That is a very good
Great pick.
I thought that was. I had that ranked as a high 2nd, late 1st round pick.
Yeah, I figured some of them might have taken this time, like by this time, but I absolutely love going there and seeing stuff, especially when they're playing with their kids. And you'll see like news stories where like kids will fall into the pen and they'll protect them. Like I remember like 10 years ago, it was a huge story.
Harambe?
No, that was the one that got shot. No. It was like a kid fell into a zoo and like one of the main like alpha girls like was protecting him from the other gorillas in the enclosure until someone would come in and get him. And I'm like, ever since I'm like, yo, you know what, gorillas? They're all right.
Yeah, you're all right.
They're all right. Yeah, so just don't fuck with them in the wild. But yeah, no, I want them in my zoo.
Have you seen them speak sign language? Like you can talk to them.
Yes.
The biggest difference between us and
insane.
apes is that we think we're too good to be apes and forget that we actually are.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The sign language thing is funny because like one of the first ones, I think it was like Coco or Kiki or something like that. Apparently she had like a pet cat and like at night one of them got run over. And they had a sign that like, hey, your cat's dead. And apparently she actually felt sad.
Yeah,
like
she
emotionally
said
signed back.
I'm extremely depressed.
Yes,
Put
exactly.
me out of my misery.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
They,
don't
they
want to
are
live on this planet anymore.
literally just like us, but they're lucky enough to not communicate with us unless we force them to.
Yeah. We put them in cages
All
and then
right.
they'll talk to us.
Anthony.
That was a really good pick. I am going to like I said, there's no way. I don't think you could catch me taking another mammal maybe for the rest of this draft, or at least not for a few rounds. I'm gonna go humpback whale. Yeah, that's right, humpback whale. My dream zoo is gonna be big enough to house a humpback whale. It's the largest animal on Earth, I think. I don't know zoo animal stuff. Rosie?
Did you say it was the largest animal on
it's
Earth?
the blue whale.
No, the blue whale's
The
the
blue
largest.
whale's
I'm
the
taking
largest.
that one. I don't know, dude.
Oh, okay.
Do you want the blue
blue
whale?
whale or the
I'm taking
humpback?
the big one. I'm taking the big
Okay.
one that you can't find
The
anywhere.
humpback whale's the one that sings.
Do you know
right?
how
Like,
much you have to
makes
pay
those
to feed
noises
that
and you
thing?
can
I don't
hear it.
Yeah.
care. It's my dream zoo. And also,
They have a great episode on the humpback whale and the life of whales as well.
the,
too.
if you get, I think it's something where if you go on like a whale watch or anything, the odds of actually seeing a whale are usually kind of slim to low. If I have an attraction in my zoo where guaranteed you're going to be able to see this whale and it's not going to be depressed and stuff and it's always going to be doing its thing, kind of like your thing with the orca,
Yep.
where like you can go to SeaWorld and see a killer whale and the killer whale is probably gonna have like that thing where
Once
the
we're
fin
done with the
is-
draft, I
Yeah,
want to.
yeah, it does the,
Once
like,
we're done with the
fun
draft, I want to
splash
have a
everyone.
conversation about the morality of zoos.
Absolutely, I think there's room for that. I think there is room for that. The
I also don't think you can go whale watching for blue whales. I mean, this is your ideal zoo, but I'm just saying that.
we're
They're
putting-
very
I'm-
deep. They're very deep sea.
I'm
and
putting
like,
a big ass fucking whale in my zoo,
A giant
and I'm
ocean.
saying, come one, come all, see my whale. He's really fucking happy.
you
And he's
can
right
see,
here.
He's right here in this
You-
tiny cage that he loves. By the way,
You can see like smaller versions of blue whales because they're like in the fin whale family off like the east
What, like
coast
dwarf whales
and
or-
stuff. No, it's like an Atlantic fin whale is a
Oh.
close relative to the blue whale.
okay, so yeah, blue whale is the answer, not humpback. Blue whale. Thanks for pivoting my own choice.
Great research we got in this
I just wanted a fucking whale in my zoo.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah. All right. Rosie? Right? Or is it Kenny?
Kenny,
It's no Rosie. I'm last. I get double.
Oh, yeah, you get double up again.
the way we're sitting is really messing me up here. All right, so all right. I'm actually gonna go off my board here, and I'm going to go with chimpanzee because I'm not gonna put him after the koala though. I might put him probably in the 3 hole because anyone that's walking through my zoo that isn't appreciating the beauty they've seen through the first 2 animals deserves to get poop thrown at them. And if the chimpanzee does it, then I don't have to worry about any sort of lawsuits with the employees working there or anything, and I get the point across.
Nice.
So
I like that.
Yeah, good choice.
it built
I
in
mean-
security and an attraction.
Yeah, I mean, people go to zoos just to see the monkeys. So
Yeah. And
Honestly,
if they
yeah.
don't fuck with you, what do? They poop in their hand, they throw it at you.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is, like, people,
No glass in that attraction, folks.
Like,
If you
I-
deserve it,
yeah.
it's coming to you.
I was read like Curious George as a kid, and I was like, I want to go see this animal. And then I'm like, this guy doesn't have a hat or anything on. He doesn't do
Yeah.
any of the fun antics I want him to.
Right?
Huh?
Chimps are the face rippers.
They are the face
Yeah.
They're
rippers.
face rippers.
Yeah. Don't have
They'll
them.
jack you up
You'll end up on Oprah. So.
Yeah.
with a brand new face.
Exactly. Look under your seat. Anyway.
For a brand new jaw.
Jeez.
Oh.
Guest featuring Macy Williams.
Kenny.
All right. So for my third pick in my zoo, I'm going to go with the kangaroo.
Nice.
Native
That
of
was a
Australia.
good
Off
pick.
the board for me. I didn't even.
How the fuck
wasn't.
did I not think?
That's what I'm
Kangaroos.
saying.
So, did you know that baby kangaroos, joeys as they're called, are only 5 millimeters to 25 millimeters when they're born? They're that small, and then they grow to be the size of a human.
That's nuts.
Isn't that insane?
What?
Absolutely crazy. And they're also really easy to steal. Like if you see a wild,
I promise. They're super easy to
no,
steal.
if you
just put 'em in
see
your
a
pocket.
joey
They're
like
so
hopping
small.
around, if you just put a bag out, they'll fall into it.
Oh, that's what you mean. I think would steal from like their
Raise your
mother's
hand if you
pouch.
want to
Like,
fuck
just,
with
like-
a mother kangaroo.
They're
So-
super
No,
easy to
I've seen it.
steal
No,
from
I've
zoos.
seen that before. Like if you literally just hold it open, they'll just
They'll
hop
just
in
hop in
because they remind of
think
the pouch.
Yeah, their mother's pouch, and
But
they
what
try
does
to.
mom do?
Mom
Nothing.
isn't around.
The
I don't
mom
know.
just has the pouch that they fall in.
Okay, so this is in context where there's a mother kangaroo not there.
Yeah,
Like to rescue them. Like if there's a lone
Word.
Exactly.
joey,
Okay.
you can save it.
So all right, so there's
steal might be the wrong.
there's
word.
good
Yes.
efforts. Save, rescue.
However, kangaroos will try to drown people. They will go and sit in like ponds of water and just sit there. And if you try to go swimming in there, they will jump on you and drown you in the water.
And they're strong. They'll
Yeah.
they'll succeed.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
will. So don't. If you see a kangaroo in the water, don't go in.
Well, you've seen the kangaroos.
So is
that are
this a
like-
red
that are
kangaroo or a gray kangaroo?
Red
or what?
kangaroos.
Okay.
Ah.
So if it's a gray kangaroo, it's not going to drown you.
No, red kangaroos.
Well, you've seen the kangaroos that are like yoked out too, right?
Yeah.
Like
Those
the ones
are the red. Those are the red
Jacked up.
kangaroos.
Yeah. Those are nuts.
It's like in my dreams.
It's like all the movies when we were like the terrible early 2000s.
Kangaroo
were like,
Jack.
Kangaroo Jack.
Kangaroo
yeah.
Jack.
Kangaroo Jack. is
Did you say
legit.
terrible movies and Kangaroo Jack in the same sentence?
Yeah,
Listen,
it's like
dude,
all those
I
terrible
just-
movies like Kangaroo Jack.
I mean, people travel to Australia to see the roo.
well, they're also
That's true.
they're like so plentiful too. They're like
Yeah.
Oh, they're everywhere. Yeah.
yeah. They're just like dead kangaroos on the side of the road.
Look at the
Oh my
faces.
God, like squirrels.
Yeah.
Also,
honestly.
Ready? Look at their
kangaroos-
faces for a sec. Look at the face of a kangaroo and look at the face of a squirrel. Like just, I mean, not a squirrel, a deer.
Oh wow.
Wow. Here, I'll put them side by side for the good old for the folks at home.
Yeah. Just
I like it that.
look at the faces. Yeah.
I will say that
That's evolution, folks.
That's crazy.
That
In Australia,
That's Darwinism right
you know
there.
why? Because Australia is its own continent. How long has it been its own continent? Everything on Australia has evolved very different than anything else on any other continent for that reason.
Dude, Australia's so weird. It's a prison colony. They just like that's how it started, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They just
The UK.
exiled all the people from Britain they didn't want there, and they're just like, just send them to the big island.
Aside from the fact that it's turning into one big desert, the remaining ecology is insane, though.
Well, they
Yeah.
were
They have
talking
everything.
about they want to. Well, what they need to do is build a channel through this middle of Australia in order to irrigate the middle of Australia because there's
Egypt
no way.
did the same thing. They made a man-made river like in the Sahara, and
Yeah.
they dumped a bunch of fish, and it like created economy because like people would come in to fish, people would come in to move there, and like
Yeah.
markets. It like spurred the growth of vegetation because sediment from like further up at higher elevations where
Yeah.
shit would grow came down. So now they have like oases in the middle of deserts that weren't
Right.
there before. They
But-
should really do the same
But
thing.
until
Yeah.
they do that, Australia is literally just dying.
Burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
Burning.
that's literally what they did for what's the big place? UAE in the Middle East. That was like if you look, they had like I saw a picture that it was like 1981. That was like a Toyota factory, and now it's like or Dubai. Is that what I'm thinking
Yeah,
of?
well,
Yeah,
same,
yeah,
same thing,
Dubai.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, like you look at it and you're like, oh my god, like how is it the same place? You know, it's
Oh,
what a
crazy.
great oasis.
Nature,
to me.
man.
Back to you.
I'm not moving too far, just off the coast. I'm going to take the great white shark.
That's a good one.
That's
And
a
they have a
good
whole week dedicated to the sharks.
It does.
So I got to have one. The great white, they're beautiful. You see them jump out of the water. I've always wanted to see one in person, but I'm too afraid to go into a shark cage.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're pretty docile unless they're looking for something to eat. Like you've seen people like
Yeah.
I think off of Hawaii and stuff. Like you're really not supposed to touch them. Like I remember there was a swimmer or like a diver, like Instagram influencer that was like holding on like the fin of like a pregnant white shark, and apparently
Yep.
that's like really bad. Like,
yeah, it's really dangerous.
You don't
then-
say.
Yeah, it's
I-
like
This
don't
is why more people should go to nature camp because then it's not a surprise.
You learned that on what, day 2?
Yeah, it's nice to look, but don't touch.
Well, I also actively avoid touching anything that's pregnant.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
Don't need
Including my ex-wife.
exactly.
I actually didn't know how wide the great white shark was. Like they are.
Oh, they're thick boys.
They are thick.
Yeah.
I always thought they were just long torpedoes. No, those things are huge. You see them?
Fat torpedoes.
Yeah.
boys.
Oh man.
It's
That's why they move so fast. It's all muscle.
I don't know what it is.
They don't have bones.
No
There
bones.
is a for sure. Like I'm not a very fearful person, right? I'm extremely brave, very tough, super tough.
I see it every day, especially at hockey.
Oh yeah, I'm very
Absolutely.
tough. But I think I'm really irrationally terrified of sharks.
Really?
I don't think
it's an irrational fear.
I think I'm afraid of sharks in the same way where like I'm just like fuck it, like kind of kill them all type. In like a bad way, but not.
that
like in
just
that
means
way.
you don't understand how the ocean works.
I know. Well, I'm not saying go kill them all now, but just like in the ocean, I'm like I don't want to be in this. I don't like being in the same body of water. I don't like being in the ocean knowing that there's also sharks in the ocean.
But that means you're in a
Especially now
healthy
that-
ocean.
Well, no,
It's
especially now that they're
interesting because you look at it at the inverse. It's like,
now there are sharks in Cape Cod.
but that's
Yeah.
such
A
a
lot of
good.
them.
Yeah.
So there's two things to that. It's one like
Stupid fucking
people.
seals.
A lot of people. But that to me says maybe that's because I grew up on a beach, which is why the reason I'm such a fucking nature nerd. But seeing less trash on the shore and more sharks and like jellyfish and shit that's not usually there, you're like, okay, now I gotta like step 2 maybe once or twice, but nice. We stopped fucking up the ocean for like at least a semblance, or like you can see a window of improvement.
Did we? It's warmer. It's really warm.
Well,
It's
we could talk about
it's tropical warm, and that's why there's sharks here.
but but sharks have been here before, and we also like hunted sharks out when we were
Yeah.
fishing in the
Yeah.
area. They were supposed to be here to begin with. You know,
I mean, to be fair,
Well-
you can make that argument with like literally other animals, like every
Anything
other animal,
that's the
and
re-
people.
that's
even.
why anything that returns to where it should have been before isn't out of place. But if you have pythons in the Everglades, anyone with a firearm will get paid to go kill them because they don't belong there.
Well, it's like I'm when I move, like I don't know how I'm gonna be able to force myself to surf.
Dude, it's so fun. You don't have to worry about it because there's other people. Don't be
I'm
the
gonna look like a seal.
don't
Don't
be
go out the deepest.
dude.
Well,
yeah,
of course not.
don't go
No,
to the
hell
deepest.
no.
Also, don't be the largest because that's what you know.
Yeah.
That's right. I won't be the largest.
Don't bleed
Absolutely
either.
not.
I'll try so hard not to.
Then you
bleed.
smell it
No,
from
only
3
I
miles
I know.
away.
That's what I heard.
Only surf at Muscle Beach. So there you go.
Shomu's boss.
That great white shark is a good choice. I think that's
Solid.
very strong. And you have the killer whale and the great white shark.
Yeah.
You could have them fight against each other.
The killer whale will win.
I guess it kind of
Especially
depends.
they're. Yeah,
They
what?
will win.
I guess it would. I guess it. I mean, not always, right?
I mean, if they have their friends.
It depends. It depends. Does depend. Rosie, your pick in the 4th round. What are we thinking?
So let's see. Round 1, we went for just cuteness. Round 1, we went for a bit of terror. Round 3, we went for security and brains. And I think round 4, we're gonna go for a
The most dangerous game.
plain grazing,
It's like-
a plain grazing, elegant creature that once was an icon of North America until they were hunted out by the millions in the Midwest. The buffalo, specifically a thoroughbred American buffalo, because all the buffalo you see out there right now.
Mixed blood.
So
Terrible
like,
idea.
That's
how
a great
else?
choice.
Where else do you see a thoroughbred buffalo outside of those very remote regions in like Wyoming where they still exist if you don't go to a zoo? You could go see a buffalo in nature, but guess what, people? They're half cow.
It's buffalo. Buffalo are really fascinating to me. I think it's a good pick. I think it's a really good pick because like it's always very strange.
That's
to
going to
me-
follow the chimp before the hippo, by the way, in the line towards the zoo. So my second slot that hasn't been filled yet.
I think that it's very interesting to me, and I like in terms of like westward expansion and stuff like that. When you think about just like the fact that the entire U.S. was at one point unsettled by, or not unsettled, it was settled by
Other
indigenous,
people,
but
yeah.
like not even like they were. It was settled, but not in a heavy populated way.
Yeah.
Wasn't
And not-
westernized.
No, in a destructive westernized way. That there were just herds of like roving massive herds of buffalo and like horses.
So
That's why we have
Horses for me are the same
planes.
thing as,
That's
like-
why we have
I-
planes, is because they stomped it all out. And actually, the biggest reason, you go back to the dinosaurs, the Brontosaurus used to like stomp down forests and stuff. And then the mammals that moved in when the dinosaurs died just ate those plains. So the trees never grew up. And now you have all that plain in the middle. So
I have a fun
It's
fact
also
I
why you
learned in
find good
freshman writing.
dinosaurs in the middle of the country too.
Because of the plains.
Yes, the big dinosaurs created the plains. There's a lot of excavation sites.
In my freshman writing class, it was an
I'm
environmental
sweating
class.
ass right now.
I learned
Yeah.
that the Native Americans actually would run buffaloes off of cliffs by the thousands.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily just the white man. We had a lot more to do with it.
No, we had we did millions.
But they would run them off cliffs by the thousands, as many as they could.
But then they would use all the parts of it.
Yeah, use all the parts of them. They didn't just kill them just to kill them.
No, they didn't kill them to take the skulls, put them in a stack, and be like, "Now I got land."
Yeah.
You know, like a 2.6-shooter Pete in the Midwest probably killed as many cattle as like the entire Native
Yeah.
American
Yeah, oh, no,
population that was
exactly.
there for 10,000 years before him.
Have you seen them like walk by cars and stuff?
Giant.
They're crazy.
It's a
big.
bus. It's a fucking bus.
Yeah.
In the real ones were even bigger.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna mention it. Actually, not fuck it. I'll mention it just because it's not even a thing. And if it comes up, we can talk about it more later. It's not gonna be on my draft board, and that's why I'll bring it up. Is a moose is like almost the same thing for me. It's like there's that video of the moose walking down the middle of that like freeway in Alaska
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't think that they were that fucking big.
Yeah.
It's like double the size of like a F-350.
Living in the
What do you
Northeast,
mean?
that is the biggest thing to be afraid of.
Well,
Like
it's
more
like-
than pumas, if those even still are in the area.
Yeah,
More
it's-
than like coyotes. Wolves aren't around here. More than black bears. More than like wolverines and all mustelids.
I guess, but like
fucking moose.
I've skied for years, and I've been up in dense forests, middle of nowhere, and like I've always seen there's tons of like moose crossing signs and stuff like that. Beware moose, like obviously slow for moose
Yeah.
stuff. But like I've never seen one.
So my dad actually wanted to go on a moose sightseeing tour, like adventure, for his like 50th birthday.
Take one guess
So
at who in the circle has done that.
So I did it. We went up to Maine to try to find the
Let's
moose,
go.
Oh,
and
Two people.
Two
man.
people
We-
have been on a moose sightseeing tour.
we
in
didn't
this
see
circle.
any moose. There were no
Absolutely not.
moose. There. Not a
Oh,
lot
so
of
you
moose.
went on a shitty one. I
I'm
went on
convinced
one in
moose
Lincoln.
Meese don't exist.
I went on one in Lincoln, New Hampshire for 45 minutes and saw 12 different moose.
Yeah. So we were
do
at
go in
we were
packs
at a lake
by Maine
called
Day.
Moosehead Lake, and there were no moose.
No, you have to go on the
Horrible.
highway to see moose. You have to go on the highway at night, and you need to be on a double-decker bus with floodlights because they go to those like aquatic gullies off this. They eat aquatic plants, so they
Yeah.
go to the
Yeah.
aquatic gullies off the highways.
We were in a
which is why they
pond,
kill
like,
people on highways because they eat off highways.
They also they don't have reflective eyes, like
You have dead eyes.
like yeah.
They're
So like
soulless?
you know cats, like if you flat like
Reflect,
take a picture
yeah.
of cats, you can see their eyes.
They call
You
the
can't
things in
see
the
that
road
with a
cat
moose.
eyes.
So you don't see them and you crash into them and die.
I mean, by the time I'm seeing the reflection of their eyes, it's probably too late. I'm gonna be
It's-
perfectly honest.
It's just moose are like I think. I always thought for the same reason I've never seen a moose in person, and until I'd seen those like viral videos of like what the fuck is that thing? Like why do I share the
Yeah.
same Earth as that? And why do I live in the same states as those things?
I know.
Like why do I choose to live anywhere where that thing decides to exist? I always thought they were very similar to deer, and like deer or whatever. Like I've seen them my entire
Yeah.
life, and deer like they're normal. They're just big.
Yeah.
They're what they're. I don't even know. They're not that big. They're kind of like alarmingly big. When you see one, you're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, that's a deer. It's like they're not like. I've never seen like a buck in the,
Yeah.
I've never seen a buck in real life. I've only ever
Really?
seen like a doe.
Neither have I.
Oh.
No, they're pretty cool.
You've seen
But
a
they're
buck in,
very
like,
they're
the
like
woods?
they're like
Like
fleeting
hunting?
though. Like no, I do nature trails, man. Come on.
That's what I was gonna say. But like that's what. Like,
No, but they're
bucks
very,
grew up
they're
in, like, the
very,
same town,
they're very
basically.
fleeting. They're very fleeting. Like you see them for a second.
Yeah.
Like you don't see them
Yeah.
like a doe. A doe will kind of freeze, but a buck you see like out of the corner of your eye, buzzing by, and you're like, oh shit, I think those are. Those are antlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my dad's like army friend that guy's wild, but he grew up like in the city, and like he comes down to visit every once in a while. And when he comes down, he's like, I'm bringing my gun out, and I'm just gonna go out into your forest, and I'm just gonna hunt. And just like I'm imagining him come back and just like wearing the antlers and just like whatever blood painted on his face.
The best like thing about a moose, like, because the last thing about it,
We're good.
and buck
That's
is
empty.
a buck you can dress in the field and take out whole. Moose, like you have to quarter it, so you have to only take like a leg at a time. So you have to then bury it deep enough that other people can't get to it and know where you're buried, and then come back and get the meat throughout like the day. It requires like multiple trips unless you have like a giant UTV or multiple.
What if you brought like a whole bunch of people?
If you brought a whole bunch of people, they could do it, but you can't carry that thing. That leg itself would be like 150, 200 pounds.
Tony, I might have to cut out for a paper towel over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a what?
A paper towel.
My God.
Just to wipe my forehead.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
You sure?
Are you a little sweaty? Schwitzen?
You tell me.
I can't really tell.
I got all worked up when we started talking about
as soon as the
bears and
chimp
birds.
conversation came up. Yeah,
Chimpanzees.
He was talking about throwing poop and he's like,
It's
oh,
like,
man.
oh, thank you. Yeah. I just
brought him back to college.
started getting angry about all the people that won't appreciate my zoo. So I want these chimps to
He
treat
went to
them
a
as
zoo.
maliciously as possible.
You went to Zoom ass.
Oh,
right.
yeah. Not when I was there. It wasn't.
So you're not picking the moose, though?
I'm not picking a moose.
So what are you picking?
What I will be picking with my fourth pick, and it's as much as I sat there and I was like, I don't want to pick another
Cat?
I want to pick. I'm not
another
picking
cat.
another cat. No,
Okay.
I'm not picking another cat.
He's definitely picking a mammal.
I'll probably pick another mammal. There's just so many. I'm gonna pick an elephant. I'm gonna pick an elephant.
Elephant.
Kind of,
largest land mammal.
it's kind of insane that an elephant is in the
Did you also pick the blue whale?
Yeah.
You have the two biggest. You have the biggest sea and
Size
land
matters,
animal.
homie. Size
Yeah.
matters. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of round out and say that I've got 4 things that I didn't think I would get.
No one else wanted?
I guess that's how a draft works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is
But-
how that works.
But I was not expecting to get an elephant in the 4th round. I'm not meaning to pat myself on the back and say that that's an incredible value pick. But
Listen, we're trying to get creative up front for
Yeah.
the people. Okay.
oh, so what? I'm just a basic little bitch.
Actually, yes.
At least you
if
saved it
anyone-
until round 4.
Yeah, because I took my other.
No, you
basic-ass
took tiger
animals.
first off.
I
Never
took-
mind.
I would say we all have fairly basic.
I don't
Picks.
know. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, you
Some
guys
people
both
are
have
going off
whales
book.
in the zoo.
Yeah.
Whales aren't exactly inhabit zoos.
I have 2 sea animals.
I think I have a very
But I-
zoo-esque looking zoo. More than I thought.
I have an
it would be,
ocean.
actually.
Do you do?
What'd you say?
No, I honestly.
Kenny's SeaWorld.
Yeah,
Kenny?
No, but like cool SeaWorld.
yeah. I got 2 pretty cool animals.
Mhm.
Maybe you
From
should
the
just have the
sea.
New England Aquarium
Yeah.
But more dangerous.
Terrible aquarium.
and a kangaroo
And a kangaroo.
And a bird.
All right.
and a bird. Andrew, your
Wraparound.
wraparound. So the last few picks that you have for this, how are you rounding out your zoo?
I will be rounding out since I guess each of us get an aquatic animal. I thought we were all doing land stuff since mostly land since a zoo.
Dude, it was in the actually no, you didn't have your phone.
My phone
I
was
tried
stolen.
to explain it to you via your burner.
My burner died midway talking to
I
you.
know. Did we talk about it on the podcast?
Let's save it for another one because this was going
Okay, that's
longer.
fine.
So we'll save it for another.
Fair.
So I'll pick one because actually there is one I wanted to pick, but I thought, I can't, land animal. I will go with the narwhal.
Oh, great
That's a good one.
choice.
Strong.
Those actually,
Strong.
those are real.
Those are real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They're not just
Swimming in the
Elf.
ocean,
Exactly,
causing
yeah.
a
We're
commotion.
not doing the stupid song.
Because
No.
they are.
So I think
You
they're
can
dope.
fill that in yourself.
I think they're a dope animal, and like Anthony just, said, people are like, oh, are they actually real? Because honestly, like you don't learn about
It's
them.
like unicorns.
Exactly, rhinoceros. Anyway,
People believe in rhinoceros.
They're not real, like giraffes.
exactly. So a couple fun facts: their skin color changes throughout their age, like throughout their life. So as they age, it changes, and their giant horn keeps growing, and is actually a tooth, which seems really inconvenient. But
man.
I mean, I guess to each their own. So, but yeah, it's
You
technically
say that until you have to fight another one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't want to fight people enamel to enamel. You know what I mean? Like, I'd
Well,
rather just body
That's because
them.
you have opposable thumbs.
Fair enough. Narwhals don't get that capacity. So that's my 4th pick. And
pick.
my final pick, I'm going to pick something just because we can get whether exotic. I have always wanted to see this in real life because it interests me so much, is a 2-headed black mamba snake.
Okay, I feel like
Oh,
this is.
wow.
I might have to. I might have to throw a bit of a veto on that.
Why?
I
How
think
ma-
that's fair.
Because you can have a weird genetic mutation. I can say that.
Call
okay,
your tiger white.
I want.
If they put them in carnivals, you can put one in
I
a
should have
zoo.
just got a liger.
You
then,
literally-
right? I should have just
Yeah.
eliminated my
Those are
tiger.
real.
You
They
got
can't reproduce.
you have the
fine.
chemical
I know, but it's a
combination for a
weird-
liger.
You have a blue whale in
He
your
can make
zoo.
as many
No,
ligers
but
you
what
can
I'm
make
saying
as many
is-
ligers
is
as you
just
want.
You don't want like just a normal black mamba. It has to be a two-headed one.
I know. Okay, I can change my pick
I'm
if
just
you
saying,
really
Put
I
want
don't
to.
Kobe in his zoo.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. I might actually, for the graphic of this, I might actually put do a two-headed Kobe on a snake. I'm actually gonna do it. I'm getting good with Photoshop.
You have to do 8 Kobe and 24 Kobe.
Oh,
like
for sure.
tight afro
Like-
goatee
Yeah,
Kobe,
yeah,
and then
absolutely. Bad hairline Kobe, no hairline Kobe.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna do no, but like I think you fine. I'll allow it. I'll do two-headed black. Only because I want to do the graphic of two-headed Kobe.
I thought there were more like it's a genetic mutation, but like there are so many videos of like two-headed snakes everywhere. That's why I was like,
Okay.
oh, okay, like
I think it's a fairly common mutation.
Yeah, I guess so. It's the
I
same
don't
thing-
think it's advantageous though.
it not no.
I
It's
would
not.
I almost want to class it in the same thing as saying like, oh, any of these animals. If I just went like, I want an albino, meh.
I was about to say that.
But like that,
Well,
that seems like almost
You have
just
to
like
know
a
they're
weird.
there though. Like a white tiger, you could have done, I suppose.
Yeah, you could have.
No, but that just seems like a.
This is an
a little more,
ideal
a little
zoo.
more creative thinking.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
it's a little bit outside of
Genuinely,
my.
yeah.
Yeah, it's thinking on a different plane that I'm not capable of reaching.
When you said like an ideal zoo, something you want, I want that fucking thing in there.
Yeah, fair.
That's fair. That's fair. Listen, I'll allow it. Just because
Just 'cause you wanna
I
make
saw
it.
the wonder in your eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to take that away. I wanted to squash that childhood wonder. Andrew's like, oh, my dream zoo. I could put a two. Finally, I could put a two in a black mamba.
I get what I want.
Anthony's like, no, shut the fuck up.
Right next to the narwhals.
That's right. It's like only one-headed black mamba in your zoo. Okay. For my final pick, my zoo is extremely basic, and I have things that I think bring a lot of people from far and wide to come and see. I'm really glad that I have these, and all of your guys' zoos don't. I think if we lined up all of our zoos on the same street, I think people would be like, "Hey, son and or daughter, what zoo do you want to go? Do you want to go to the one with the lion and the tiger and the whale?" Or do you want to go to some of the other ones? And I think if
I love how you just said lion, tiger, and then the whale, as if like you don't have literally the only blue whale in existence in a zoo.
that's
He
right.
also forgot about the elephant.
He also
What
forgot about the elephant. No, like I'm
what
just saying.
what I'm saying is like I have really cool animals.
No, but I'm saying you
Yeah.
should put the blue whale first.
What I'm saying is, listen, I've got all the cool animals.
How are you
I almost
false?
forgot that I had the whale.
I'm just saying, how are you in charge of our advertising?
Because
If you're-
I'm a marketing degree and I don't know how to run my own marketing. I think what I am lacking a little bit, if I'm talking about my zoo, is that I might need something to bring the kids in a little bit more.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking about introducing a bit of a petting zoo element to my
I
to my
thought
zoo, and obviously my other animals are not petting zoo animals. Elephant maybe. Probably not, though. I probably won't let them close to it. It would just jack up my insurance costs. I'm going to throw a llama in my zoo and just let the
I
kids
like
have
this.
at it.
Don't llamas spit at people?
That's the fun of it.
No, I
Yeah.
think that's the other
Built-in
one.
security.
no llamas do.
What's the other one?
Alpaca.
Alpacas
But-
are the spitting ones.
No,
They
I thought.
all are.
Which one was Emperor's New Groove? Was he an alpaca or a llama?
He's a llama.
He's a llama.
They spit at people because they do a spitting joke in Emperor's
Do
New
they
Groove.
really?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes, they
All
do.
right, well, I'm getting one of those mystical non-spitting llamas in my.
his ideal zoo.
I guess if you can have a two-headed snake, I can have a non-spitting llama.
I'm okay with that.
I can have a llama with no spit glands.
Anthony, there's no objection over here.
I will say, as of right now, I have a long honorable mentions list.
Oh yeah, I think there's a lot in here. I think there's
yeah,
a ton.
there's so many.
There's a ton. Yeah, I think the llama helps me out a little bit. It wasn't really what I wanted to do. Like obviously, I think there's like you were saying, Kenny. There's a ton that can really just that should deserve. They deserve to be in a zoo.
I agree.
A lot of these animals deserve to be put in captivity.
Exactly. Agreed.
But I'm unable to do it with this cap. But I would go over to Rosie and say your last pick, sir.
Yeah, so as I'm battling heat stroke over here, I have
Freaking out.
a long line.
You're losing your mind. What is going on?
It's I don't know, 90,000 degrees maybe.
We're all in the same heat. Like I'm hot too, but I mean,
I'm
like,
not even hot.
I'm wearing jeans.
Well, listen, maybe
fair.
you guys aren't cold climate people, but
You were
I went to
raised on a
Florida.
beach?
I went to Florida. I was raised on a North Shore. Northeast Beach. It's nice out like 2 months a year. It's 10 months of cold. We jump in on New Year's Day. I went to Florida one time. One time. I actually went there twice, but the second time was for work. But the one time I went there for leisure, I was like, I don't think this is leisurely for me because it's just this the whole time. I'm like, this is not like a nice relaxing vacation. I'm dabbing sweat off my head and reapplying deodorant the whole time. But alas, I know everyone's been waiting for the bird.
It got hotter as soon as you. That is good. That is a good idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
And now I'm on my game. That's like the MJ's secret stuff from Space Jam. That's literally all I needed. So I'm going to go with a bird that really bridges the already known bridge between dinosaurs and birds. And this is the cassowary. And I'm not sure if anyone knows what a cassowary is, but it's kind of like an ostrich-looking bird, but it's more colorful. If you were to compare an ostrich to a turkey, a cassowary is kind of like the peacock version of it, where it's got also like this bill up in the middle of its head and the same kind of gullet that a turkey does. The reason that I pick a cassowary and I think it's so cool, not only because they're massive and terrifying, and if you want to talk about big talons, big feet, I think the cassowary has the biggest talons in the bird kingdom. They have protofeathers. So what protofeathers are, it's literally a living fossil. Protofeathers were the step between dinosaurs going from scales to feathers. And it's essentially like a long, skinny tube. Like the scales kind of like extended from the body and then like fluffed out, I suppose.
Yeah.
And protofeathers are what feathers were before they fluffed out into bristles and stuff. So that's a cool bird. It's a big bird too, so it's fairly intimidating. But I'm going to follow that after the koala because if people don't appreciate it, then the chimp is going to throw shit at them.
Oh, man. So, that's a tough follow.
What's the last pick?
I think I'm going to have to break my zoo up into 3 parts. There's going to be the lone land animal, the kangaroo, hopping around wherever it wants. And then the ocean exhibit will be my shark and killer whale. And then we're going to take to the skies, and I'm going to pick the peregrine falcon.
Ooh.
It is the fastest animal on Earth. It
Just
can
dive
dive.
bombing your audience.
It can dive at over 200 miles an hour. Absolutely crazy. There are videos of it like catching people skydiving.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely insane.
Whoever is the architect of any of our zoos is going to get a
Well,
pretty payday.
They
I'll
gotta
be
stay.
honest.
Yeah, we need like people up in the clouds for mine. Maybe
Yeah.
like special helicopter flights.
Yeah,
They
a
can
Willy
skydive.
Wonka elevator.
They can skydive next to the peregrine falcon. It'll be great.
That'd be
Maybe
sick.
see the eagle on their way down, right into the water with the terrifying great white sharks and killer whales.
So, all right, since you said the falcon, since it's the fastest thing, wicked. All right, so I forget if it's the pistol shrimp or the mantis shrimp.
Oh yeah,
I
It's
know
the
exactly what you're
mantis
talking about.
shrimp's hammer shoots like is it the speed of sound?
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
like
a
a,
speed-
No,
it's a
it's-
sonic boom or
It's,
something.
Yeah.
it's so fast. It actually creates a phenomenon where it creates like an air pocket, and it creates in the water, and it creates light. Like it creates like in like pitch black darkness. They create so fast. I can't remember the phenomenon, but like it literally is so fast it creates light.
Yeah.
Underwater.
And then the pistol shrimp is the one that shoots the bubbles at its prey, but that's not the same. But it literally shoots bubbles, so that's what I was thinking. But no, it's the hammer on the mantis shrimp is but that's not something we knew until recently. But
Interesting.
yeah.
All right, so that's the draft.
That's the
suppose.
draft.
I got my fan. I feel so much better now.
I'm so glad you were freaking out.
I felt like I was pretty composed considering how sweaty I was.
I saw you write it down.
I might stand up off this couch and like leave an imprint forever.
I love my zoo.
I'm a fan of mine. I do have a
I like
few
mine
that
too.
I wish I had a bigger zoo.
I think
it's so hard with 5, but like you got time constraints.
In a
you know?
way, that's kind of very, very similar with the zoo thing that I felt with the food court draft, where it's like, oh, I wish I could add some more birds and water animals
into
to
the food
flesh
court.
out my zoo, to flesh out my food court.
Like more on the spirit.
But no, you do with it what you can.
Yeah.
You have your resources, and you try your hardest.
Yeah.
I really think one of my honorable mentions, would have been, I really wanted to do this, but I was like, no, I should actually say an animal, is like a frog exhibit or something where they're like, try and find the frog, but I actually don't put an animal in there. So one of my picks would have been just the camouflage, like leafy tree area, and then no animal. And like, where is it?
You
like,
figure out how many people are convinced that they found the frog. It's right
That's the
there.
whole-
It's
yeah,
right there.
You should put them
It's
in
like,
the
yeah, you're
exhibit.
right. You got
Oh.
it.
You have them walk in and look around for the frog.
Yeah.
And then
Near the
they-
exhibit.
Yeah, they're the exhibit.
I really was thinking every time someone says,
Stupid humans.
Yeah.
every time someone says I found it, the counter would go up or something, like some automatic thing. I really want those because I hate those so much. Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Any other honorable mentions? I think there's no zebra in any zoo.
The ring-tailed lemur I thought was a good one.
Yes,
For anyone that
absolutely.
has seen Zaboomafu,
Zaboomafu, yeah.
Zaboomafu's a
that
great
brings you
show.
back to your first maybe exposure to animals that you didn't get in a zoo, and you're like, oh shit, we started there, and now I'm seeing you here.
There's no alligator. There's no reptiles.
I was-
in our
I
zoo.
was gonna
actually
pick-
you
So
have your reptile.
I had an anaconda and an alligator snapping turtle,
I
and
had
I
a
moved
Nile
over both of
crocodile.
them
No
because I
turtle.
wanted the
No
poop
turtle.
throwing chimpanzee.
yeah.
Talk about ROI on that turtle. One turtle lasted 200 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love sea turtles.
The no giraffe.
Yeah.
So,
No panda. No panda.
I had one
A
of
lot
my
of
lists,
bears though.
but-
Listen,
Yeah.
I had in my round one mock-up, I had lion, tiger, elephant, and panda, and I was like, those are all going to be easy. Round one goes.
oh man, why didn't you get the panda?
I was thinking about it. I decided to go elephant.
Still
instead.
not as cute as a koala. That's why.
So, oh man,
You could have gone with
I
the
have
golden
I have a
piano.
few off-board, like crazy animals that I really think would be interesting, but people don't know about them.
Try me.
Think
so
you could have educated.
there's the axolotl.
Oh, axolotl's cool.
Yeah.
That's
they
the
can,
little amphibian.
That's
I
a
had,
Yeah.
I had an
recent
ex that was
phenomenon.
very into axolotls.
Yeah, they can regrow their limbs and stuff, their organs. Pretty awesome.
They also exist where there's like no sunlight.
yeah. Oh, it's
They're
absolutely
completely like transparent. You can see like every single organ just by
yeah,
looking
they're
at
clear.
them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's weird.
insane. Another one was the superb bird of paradise. I don't know if you guys have
Oh,
heard
the
of
know
that.
that
birds
one.
of
It's the one that
paradise.
dances,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. It's a beautiful bird.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
have
too cocky. I don't need
Yeah.
I don't
If
need
you-
any sort of egos on my roster.
You need to look it up and watch a video of its mating dance. It's absolutely insane.
Sometimes it doesn't work, which
Rosie
is sad.
has-
It's like going to a club, dancing, and being rejected.
Have you seen the bird? And I'll find it even if I can't describe it well. It's like the scariest bird I've ever seen in my life.
Harpy eagle or great Philippine
Oh, it's
eagle.
this thing.
That's
Oh.
Oh,
Those things are gigantic.
Oh, they're fucking
Is
huge.
it-
Oh, that's like it's like an African.
It's
It
in,
looks like an African pelican.
It's a
Andean
heartbill.
No, it's a
condor.
stork.
It's an Andean condor.
That's an
No,
Andean. That's not an
condor.
Andean condor.
That's not condor.
That's not. That's a stork.
this thing.
That's
I thought
not
that
a
was
condor.
The videos of it
That's
where like
some kind of
it like
stork.
locks in and its head doesn't move and like this thing is. Oh,
Those
that
are
thing
like
is
the
an
biggest wingspan. Right?
Oh,
Oh, dude, it's so.
Andean
fucked up.
condors do have the biggest wingspan.
It's a
It's 11
shoot.
feet.
It's a what?
Wait, is that it?
Yeah, it's
It's a shoe bill.
shoe
Morality
shoe
of-
pelican or something like that. Yeah.
Quick thought on the morality of zoos, because it was less of a debate, more of a single thought.
Yep.
Zoos are fucked up. The way that, like, in certain cases, I think people treat animals terribly that work in zoos and they probably don't really care.
Yeah.
But I think you can't go without zoos or SeaWorld or shit like that because otherwise no one will ever see any of those things in their life. And, like, people that grow up to be scientists and stuff usually do that because they go to SeaWorld and they're like, I love that. I want to do that. And they don't all go to work in those zoos and shit. They, like, go out to work in nature. So, like, as soon as you take that stuff away, you, like, take away the inspiration from the kids, man.
I fundamentally agree.
And what's good if you don't have those scientists out there, then you're hurting the animals that are getting hurt in the zoos, like their whole population.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's some element to be said for like the conservation effort that a lot of zoos put forth, at least now. Or good zoos that are well funded and obviously have some sort of humanitarian backing to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do have a conservation effort usually attached to them, which is really good. Also, like the foundation of zoos and kind of how they started was like, oh, hey, we're gonna take all these animals from their habitat and bring them here because these people.
We'll never see
these
them.
people in the 18 and 1900s are never going to be able to see a giraffe ever. So fuck it, let's do it. Now I think that zoos have become, in a way, a little antiquated in that the world is very connected. If I really want to, for seemingly not that much money, all things considered, I could go on a safari and see them in their habitat
Yeah.
in a much more humane environment. Granted, I have to like go across the country and save up and
Well,
stuff. It's a lot harder to do.
Go
than going
across
to a
the
zoo.
world.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, that's what I meant, but still.
Well, it's become less about intrigue and more about entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing, like you were saying, like 18, 1900s, like, people wouldn't have seen it. Now it's like you can go online and see, like,
I can see
4K
every
video.
animal you want.
Yeah.
I mean, we just
But
looked up that bird and
but
saw
you-
a million pictures of it.
But like
so.
anyone that's gonna go to a safari or anyone that's gonna go to like bird camp or anyone that wants to study like ecology or just animals, they see them in a zoo first, you know? They like probably go to a zoo as a little kid, then they fall in love with that thought. And you know, I owned a ton of trail guides and shit, but like none of that was as cool as like going to the zoo and then seeing it. And it's once you notice how cool it is in the zoo, you just start to think how much cooler it is outside. It's like, fuck it. Now I want to go on the safari, or now I want to go like try to save this population on the other side of the world because I saw this poor fucker getting like starved in a cage here, but he really piqued my imagination. Some shit like that.
Good point.
I agree.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, coming up on an hour. Perfect. So yeah, let us know. This was a really fun one to do. Thank you to both Kenny and to Rosie for coming on this week. What'd you guys think?
It was a lot of fun.
Was it fun?
Yeah, I had a good time.
I shot my shot too early. We should have saved zoo animals for later.
You think so? You think
I don't
you
know.
could have ramped up to this
I
one?
think I'm
100%.
excited for the world events.
I think the World Events
Nah.
one is going to be better now.
I'm
Yeah.
only going downhill from here.
You think so?
I know
the
so.
business one, I'm screwed.
I
You
cannot
don't think
wait.
so?
I have
the business
nothing to
one's gonna
talk
be
about.
great.
That
I
was
think
going to
it
be easy.
But yeah, so let us know what you thought. Who do you think has the best zoo? What zoo do you want to go to? Don't get into moral debates with me about zoos. You just heard our opinions on it. I'm not going to get into.
We
It's
don't
kind
own
of like
zoos.
imaginary animal kingdom.
Yeah,
like if you
it's-
could
it's
just
sort
have
of
like
it's my dreamscape. It's my zoo. It's
Yeah.
my animal dreamscape.
And we preface it by all the animals are happy, ideal, or no weather.
Yeah,
Which
there is no weather.
Would make sense.
Yeah, they all live in a vacuum.
Use
There's
your
no air.
fucking imagination, people.
So yeah, so definitely let us know what we think, or what you think. This podcast is going to be up on iTunes, on Spotify, at Reality Wagon. It's going to be up on YouTube at ANMC Studios. You're probably watching it there right now. We have cool graphics and stuff. Go ahead and watch it there. It's awesome. Anthony's been putting up the graphics. They're only getting better. Every single one keeps getting better and better. So definitely let us know what you think there. Also follow us on Twitter, also on Instagram at Reality Wagon. These go up there. All of our tiers go up. Not tiers. All of our draft boards go up. It's weird. I want to call them tiers still.
thinking
All of our draft boards
reality
go up. So let us know what you think. Who had the best draft? What was the steal of the draft? There are some really good picks in that 4th and 5th round there. So go ahead and engage with us. Let us know what you think. Any parting thoughts, gentlemen?
None on my end.
yeah, I don't have
Yes.
anything.
All good. Perfect. All right. Cool. Thank you guys very much. And I think we will talk to you guys later.